This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news and intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversations. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
You're listening to Talking Heads with Naughty, hosted by Earl the Pearl. On Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM.
Why my people suffer so bad? Oh, is it that should really be sad? Is it?
Talking Heads with Naughty is brought to you by Bahamas Out Island Promotion Board, Burger King, City of Hope, Kalina, John's Department Store, Click, KFC, Muffler World, Naughty Johnny's, Print Masters, Sandcastle Bahamas, and Tropical Gyros.
Are you gonna vote now? My God. Rise up, falling soft.
And good afternoon, good day. It's a Talking Heads Thursday. Yes, this is your boy Burley in the house here on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. It's so good to be with you out here today. Boy, the weather looks a little gloomy out there today. It's getting hotter and hotter every day. And remember what I say? Hydrate and hydrate properly. But we have a great show ahead of us. I have a special guest with us today. I'll introduce my special guest in a minute, but I'm going to tell you how you want to be a talking head.
Here's how you can become a talking head, brought to you by BTC.
And that is so easy. All you got to do is pick up your phone, dial 323-6232, or 325-4316, or 325-4259. And if you're in the Family Islands, you want to talk to me, 242-300-5720. And if you don't like how your voice sound on radio, you can text me at 422-GR96. That's 422-4796. And what's going on in the headline? All kind of things happening in our little island, our little country.
It's time for Headliners. Everything that's making headlines with the fine threads.
And on the front page of The Guardian today, rapist gets 20 years. Rapist gets 20 years. Man was unanimously convicted. I'm good with that. DPM, Constitutions Commission, may present report to PM next month. Darville's new bill would integrate prescription drug program into NHI. And Davis mum on when PLP would begin ratifying candidates. And Slain Police Reserve Inspector laid to rest. Yeah, they need to tell us know who they gonna have running. They was giving the F&M plenty hell about that. And this business central bank report, slower tourism sector growth in May. Stopover numbers remain constrained to accommodation capacity. Cruise tourism segment maintain its healthy pace of growth. The Bahamas approved 6 agricultural products from DR, 80 more under consideration. The central bank short-term loan delinquency up in May. And Canto 2025 to tackle AI threats, new tech, satellite internet, equity. You think they listened to what we were talking about yesterday? Interesting. So, we only got an hour, so we're going to get right into it. I have a special guest today. I've been trying to get him to come and talk to me for a while. I've known him from he was a young man. I can say a little boy, a young man. It is my pleasure, my distinct pleasure to welcome to Talking Heads today, Deputy Leader of the Free National Movement, the Honorable Shannon Don Cartwright. How are you today, sir?
Very good, Brother Thompson. It's great to be here with you, and good afternoon to the Commonwealth of the Bahamas and everyone across the length and breadth of our archipelago. And it is true, you've known me from I was a young man.
Yeah, I remember we went on that cruise. We didn't go together, but we happened to be on the same cruise.
That's a long time ago.
Work with your father, know your mother, know your aunties, live next door to your family. So I think I know you a little bit.
Mama said that's why you have to behave yourself, because we're in a small country.
You don't know who you can see, right?
Been good.
Busy?
Been very, very busy. Enjoying serving the Bahamian people as the Member of Parliament for St. Barnabas and the Deputy Leader of the Free National Movement. Looking forward to the campaign and election cycle as we present our vision through our leader, the Honorable Michael Pintard, about where we see the country is now and where we would like the country to go. Understanding that the Bahamian people have been challenged in many different ways, and there's a great level of disenchantment with the entire political process in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. The Free National Movement, we understand that, and we are prepared to do what's necessary to enlist the confidence of the Bahamian people into our vision of what we would like to do to bring real change to the Commonwealth of the Bahamas and the lives of the Bahamian people.
So I know last week you rolled out 17 candidates, some young people, some women, some veterans. What is the mood and the energy within the party following the recent ratifications last week?
Well, we're very excited and very, very, very hopeful. We understand that the Bahamian people, patience, wearing thin, if you will, and we understand it, and they have that right. They are the ones who decides if we will get the job to govern the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, and and we see that as a reflection of how frustrated the Bahamian people are with this present government, that they want to see what the Free National Movement has to offer, who would make up a governing team, and we've put a deposit down on that team, if you will, as you said, by ratifying 17 candidates. We are excited of the mix of individuals and professionals all walks of life that we're going to assemble as a team. There will be persons, again, who are entitled to have their views, and we respect that. We understand that this process of choosing persons who would form a government and who also would be a part of populating boards and the Foreign Service, it's a very delicate process, but we want to make sure that we have the right personnel to present to the Bahamian people, and so that they have full confidence along with our agenda that this is what the Bahamian people need.
So what was, I know it was a difficult process because, I mean, I think I heard your chairman said you had over 100 applications for basically 33 seats, 34 seats.
Right.
What would you say are some of the values and priorities that guided your selection in some of these? Because I've seen some, I'm happy to see more women because I'm in politics. What were some of the values and priorities that you look at, not you, but the party looked at when they're looking for candidates?
Well, I believe fundamentally one of the things that we thought was very, very important is to have a set of individuals whose values reflect where the Bahamian people are as it relates to politics in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. The Bahamian people are tired of the petty politics. They're tired of the tribalism. They understand that we are in a small country, and though we are in a small country, that the dreams and aspirations of the Bahamian people have not been realized thoroughly in the way that we know that it can happen. So we want individuals who are committed to the empowerment of the Bahamian people, persons who understand that this is about service, above self. This is about people. This is about people. I say again, this is about people.
Working for the people.
Working for the people. And as you would have seen in the rollout, that we want the Bahamian people to know that we are working for them. So we say to you that we are in fact working for you. And so we feel that once we would have completed the slate in its entirety, we believe that the Bahamian people will be ultimately pleased.
Okay.
And obviously on election day, they will get to decide that ultimately.
So I've seen some new faces, some young man out of West Grand Bahama, Omar Isaacs,
Yes.
Jeremy Sweeting, I think it is, from Abaco.
South Abaco.
Dr. Jackie Penn Knowles,
Right.
Philippa Kelly. These are new faces. What?
Therese Poodle in North Abaco.
Yes.
Yes.
What is these new faces? What is the type leadership can Bahamians expect from these new faces?
Well,
and not just these, but the whole 17.
No, absolutely. But even the persons that you've named, they reflect collectively what we feel we would have garnered in the first 17, particularly those persons that you would have mentioned in West Grand Bahama and Bimini, North and South Abaco, and Central and South Eleuthera. These are people who are communities, immersed in their communities, and have always been community builders, already working.
Okay.
And so we thought it was important that while obviously you can, as it relates to family islands, you can have somebody who is connected to a family island, has family from a family island. We thought it was important to have persons who are immersed in those places, like where there's not much detachment from what they see every day from those persons who live in those family islands and what it is that they feel, or I should say that the people feel in those islands that they need.
They born there.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Right.
Well, let's flip. Since we're talking candidates, let's flip right into. I know that I think you are the FNM's representative on the Boundaries Commission.
I am.
Okay, so I did my little homework,
No, absolutely.
Okay, so what does the FNM feel that, and particularly you as the members, the FNM feel that there's there's transparency in the timing of the commission? Because, I mean, it's dragging. By this time, they should have been saying something by now.
Well, what I will say is that without preempting the work of the commission, and just for public edification, while it's known as the Boundaries Commission, its constitutional name is actually the Constituency Commission.
Yes.
So that's just some civic right there.
Uh-huh.
But most importantly, in this democratic process, when you're talking about population changes, population density, whether it be in New Providence or possibly, and I say possibly in the Family Islands, because we know that the population is obviously more scattered
Yes.
in a number of the Family Islands, except for Grand Bahama. So we look at where those changes are possibly needed, right? Did we have an even distribution of voters across the constituency layout, if you will? Right now, it's right sure that once elected, that persons can adequately represent the numbers of registered voters.
Okay.
Right?
I know they said they want to keep it around 5,000 a constituency max.
Right. So you have some constituencies who are over 7,000.
Wow.
You have some that are over 6,000. So there is a legitimate need to look at that, to lay it out on the table literally, and say, where is it necessary and possible for us to make changes that would accrue to the benefit of constituents in a certain area.
So now, the talk on the ground is that the government is thinking about cutting here, cutting there, adding here, adding there. Do they consult with you and say, listen, what do you think? Or they just come and say, listen, this will happen, you go in here, this can happen there, these more seats can be here. Is there any consultation in terms of the opposition?
Well, there is consultation. I'm the sole member of the opposition that's a part of the commission, and then there are two members from the government, and then the Speaker of the House of Assembly, and then there's a justice from the Supreme Court. There is consultation. They do ask for our view on what we feel. At the end of the day, the government will have its way, if you can say that. I mean, at the end of the day, we can offer, and we have offered our suggestions and so forth relative to some of the preliminary discussions that have happened. But at the end of the day, the government has the majority support on that commission.
So, in growing up, and under Sir Lyndon and others, the key words around this time was gerrymandering.
Yes.
Do you feel that there's a need for an independent constituency commission as opposed to taking the members of parliament out of it and allowing lay people, when I say lay people, non-members of parliament, to look at it as an independent view on where they think? Because basically, if the government in charge, and let's say we look at St. Barnabas and they, oh boy, we won't beat him bad. They might take a piece of Angliston and throw in there, or may do stuff like that. Do you think it's time that we have an independent constituency commission? Is that something the FNM would like to look at?
Well, I know one of the things we are committed to, and the Leader Pintard has talked about this. We want to change the way that we do business in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas in every aspect. We want to be as transparent with the Bahamian people, and those things that would strengthen our democracy. And if this is one that we need to take a look at, we definitely need to, because at the end of the day, it is about what is best for the people of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. And so, no doubt, the commission and how it is formed and its role. It is something that we should look at, just as persons have talked about wanting fixed election dates, so that we can all know, businesses alike, as well as regular Bahamians, just knowing that on this day we're having a general election, and it helps with planning, it helps with business, it helps with your economy to a certain degree, a very important degree. So these are things, again, that I believe that the Bahamian people, along with many other things, are looking at.
And I think it would save money because, it puts the opposition at a disadvantage. I'm not saying the FNM, I'm just saying the opposition, using the word opposition, at a disadvantage, not knowing when the elections are coming, because looking at how the charter was on the ground, pushing for the FNM to announce its candidates, when technically we may not have an election until next year, September or October. I think that bodes well for, say, listen, let's have fixed elections. We know they're coming up. Let's use like the Americans. We know it's the the first Thursday in November.
Right.
We know that starting February, March, we can start planning towards it. And I think it would help with some election reform, particularly in the spending.
Yeah, no, I absolutely talk about election reform specifically, and I think the broad banner of election reform is something that we are committed to. Again, we work for the Bahamian people, and there have been a litany of things, numerous things that we don't even have time to talk about today, where the Bahamian people have been utterly and understandably frustrated for decades, and that's why we are committed to doing all we can as a would-be government under the leadership of Michael Pintard to ensure that all of these frustrations, this disenchantment that Bahamians have with the larger political process, that we meet those head on. And while we cannot necessarily achieve everything in one go, we can begin to make significant progress.
Okay. Shadow Minister of National Security, correct?
Yep.
Okay, so crime is the thing. We are very concerned about crime. I think somebody got shot again yesterday or the day before yesterday.
Yes, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, and somebody actually got killed in Harbor Island earlier today. So that is a big concern to the average Bahamian. Somebody like me, I live in Chippenham. I'm always concerned with stuff like that. What is the FNM's position on the current state of national security, and has the FNM offered any solutions or any suggestions on how we can deal with crime?
Well, first, let me just say, anecdotally, all Bahamians, many Bahamians, whether through family and friends or just people, co-workers, have lived out this crime issue, especially in lifetime now or in recent years. Now, there is no doubt that we've had to deal with these issues that has bridged successive administrations. But we feel that in this present dispensation that the government is not doing enough. Myself and the leader of the opposition, we were at the Lernex.
Chippenham fellow.
Yeah, absolutely. And, besides obviously honoring him and giving reverence to his life and his legacy, it really was, and Bishop Boyd talked about this, it really was an opportunity, not just his life, but all of these deaths that have happened in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, really an opportunity for us to look at ourselves, and not just the police force. And, you asked if we've given recommendation. We've given in paper form. We wrote it down and we made it plain, as it said, to the government in 2022, when there was a record number of murders in March of 2022.
Yes.
And then subsequently that year, unfortunately, there were some 128 murders in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. And so we would have made recommendations to the government to focus not just on enforcement, but everything from criminal justice reform to our social issues, and to have an intersectoral approach to crime in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, and to ask ourselves the fundamental question: how do we prevent the 7, 8, 9-year-old in primary school, girl or boy, from moving into a life of crime? How do we prevent that? Because if we do not answer that in a real substantive way with real policies and real things that will make a difference in the contours of all the different ministries in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, right? Because there are a lot of good work being done, but it's being done in isolation. So we believe that we need to have a crime commission.
I was about to ask you that question because I was in talk with some young fellas yesterday.
Yeah.
I said, I got the deputy coming on. He's the shadow minister. What you think I should ask him? We need a commission of inquiry and crime. We need a crime commission.
Yeah.
We
We need a crime commission. We need to. These problems are socioeconomic problems. These are real issues where we have to look at ourselves as a people. We can provide the Royal Bahamas Police Force and Defense Force and other uniform branches with all of the equipment that they could need. But if we don't answer the question that I just posed about how do we stop the young man or young woman from getting into a life of crime, the government has talked about building a $100 million prison that started off at $50 million, right?
Yep.
But we'll be building a prison every 30, 40 years if we do not answer this question. And all of us, all of the stakeholders in our country, civic, religious organizations, political leaders, you name it, we have to come together and to really take a real detailed look at what is allowing our people, our young people, to embrace the lives, this incredibly sad level of crime in the country, and also the level of gun violence in the country. We really have to look at it in detail, and we've presented a detailed plan to the government, and we hope that if, with God's grace and with the confidence of the Bahamian people, we will be able to implement a lot of those policies that we believe would make some major progress.
Okay, super. We're going to take our first break. My special guest today is the Deputy Leader of the Free National Movement, the Honorable Shannon Dawn Cartwright. We got to pay some bills. We can take a quick break. We'll talk a little bit about the budget and your contribution, and I got a couple of texts I'm going to read out. This is Pearly on Guardian Radio 96.9. It's a Talking Heads Thursday. We'll be right back.
I's a Bahamian, hairy born and bred. I don't want to live nowhere else, even when I dead. I's a Bahamian, and I always late. If you want me there by 9, better tell me come 8. See, I's a Bahamian, and I don't like say nobody gonna spend my money when I go to my grave. Yes, I's a Bahamian, don't wanna make no fuss.
Long day? Hungry crew? Say less and satisfy everyone with KFC's Summer Buckets. Grab a super summer bucket and get 8 juicy pieces of fried chicken, 8 nuggets, corn, our new white rice with gravy, 4 buttery biscuits, 4 Switcher Pink lemonades, and 4 dessert biscuits. So whether it's on the beach, at home, or chilling with the crew, KFC's Summer Bucket starting at just $20. Bring all the flavor. Summer with KFC. It's finger licking good.
Closer.
If you set people's seats on edge every time you step on the brakes, it's time you visit Muffler World on Mackey Street. They can take your brake rotors off, and if there's anything left, machine them shiny. Then their technicians will install new pads, and before you know it, you'll be able to stop a social service on you. They're trying to hit my car. Children in the car. Muffler World can replace the whole package, including hoses, master cylinders, and more. For first-class brake work, stop by Muffler World on Mackey Street. Open Saturdays 8 till noon.
Feel the forest without leaving the living room. For over 70 years, Airwick has been connecting people to nature, one breath at a time. Infused with 100% natural essential oils, our fragrances are crafted to capture the beauty of the great outdoors. So whether you're feeling floral, citrusy, or just a little woodsy, Airwick brings nature home to you. Available now at Kelly's, Lowe's Pharmacy, and your favorite local store. Airwick, it's not just a scent, it's a nature moment.
We're still here. Since 1941, the Armory Company has been your trusted partner and one-stop solution for all your business and technology needs. From printers to copier leasing, point of sale to cloud video surveillance, and access control to ATMs, we've got it all. And we ship to all family islands. Call our dedicated customer service team now at 397-1600 or visit us behind Wendy's on Mackey Street and experience excellence that stands the test of time. The Armory Company. Your success is our business.
There's a richness to the Bahamas that you have to taste to understand. Depending on which island you're on, the Bahamas can be a dilly-infused rum or a guava liqueur with hints of pineapple. The Bahamas can also be a soothing herbal blend. At Bahamas Botanicals and Islands and Keys, we know the Bahamas is complex and diverse, so we couldn't fit it all in just one bottle. Visit any Bristol Wines and Spirits location and enjoy the taste of the archipelago. From cascarilla to coconut and everything in between, Bahamas Botanicals. Keep close to your roots. Please drink responsibly, 18 and over.
You're listening to Talking Heads with Naughty, hosted by Earl the Pearl. On Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM.
It's time for the buzz. What are you buzzing on? Brought to you by John's Shoes.
On the corner, when I heard my bulldog bark, he was barking at the 2 men who were gambling in the dark.
And welcome back. Welcome back to Talking Heads Thursday. This is Pearly. You know, July is my favorite month of the year. It's the greatest month of the year. That's when the good Lord allowed me to come on this earth. But it's also the independence of the Bahamas. So I always tell people that I celebrate independence and my birthday within a couple of days of each other. I just love July. So when you hear Pearly on, you're going to hear the Bahamian music playing as we celebrate. I'm going to quickly read a couple of texts and we get back to my special guest, the Deputy Leader of the Free National Movement, Shannon Dawn Cartwright. Good day. The show that comes on at night beyond the headline, it never has a balance on it. Always has 2 guests affiliated with the same party. What am I trying to get into is that last week on the show, they were saying that the FNM taking long to bring out their candidates and hollering about it. Now, last night, the reporter asked the PM when he rolling out his candidates, and he said in due course. And the guest on the show said, well, you don't have to rush and roll them out. You see why I said the show is unbalanced? I hear you, Texter. Please ask your guest, what is the FNM's political mandate regarding immigration? We'll get to that. Pearlie, I have been supporting the FNM since the by-election in St. Barnabas in the early 1980s. So I guess you can call me a lifetime supporter of the party. However, the problem I have with this party is the public route they have every time there is a leadership issue. You guys always air your dirty laundry in public, and I'm sure the PLP, they have internal problems, but they don't see them behaving like that. When are you guys going to have successive leadership and avoid all of the public squabbling? When are we going to have the problem? Not say you guys, but that's no. Good day. What does the pastors do? Teach them the Bible and God's laws. Exodus. Is there? And let's get right to it. I mean, since they brought that up, is there unity within the party? Some people. I mean, I'm a firm believer that families have arguments.
Yes.
And at the end of the day, and I've seen and I've watched the FNM all my life. I've been fascinated by politics in this country. So I saw the split in '77. I saw the row in 2002. I saw the row in 2016. And so I see that. I think that's part of democracy. But is there unification within the Free National Movement?
Well, before I get to that, I'm going to answer that directly. But one of the texts talked about the ratification of the candidates. I just wanted to say one thing.
Go ahead.
There has been much discussion by some about why would we ratify persons who would have ran in the last election.
Yeah.
Okay. And I think that is a valid question.
You read my questions.
That's a valid question. I want people to keep in mind, the Bahamian people to keep in mind, that the present prime minister was deputy prime minister in the Christie administration, where the Bahamian people rejected them at the polls.
Yeah.
And he is now the prime minister. Parties, and as it relates to the Free National Movement, we look at what we feel that we need to present to the Bahamian people. You talked about young people, you talked about women. Experience is a very important part. I think about a Darren Henfield and his time in foreign affairs and how important that is to obviously our governing platform and so forth. There will always be discussion sometimes in a constituency in this process. You might have four persons, as an example, four incredibly great candidates, but it only can be one. Oftentimes, families, even in our families, we're having a family discussion, and those family discussions can be pretty passionate at times, and that's part of the democratic process. There is no doubt. I think most persons would say, well, keep your family discussions, in-house. No doubt about that. That is very, very important. But I think that this process, the democratic process that we have in the party, and all of the different views from the constituency association to the candidates committee, from the vetting committee, and of course the Central Council of the Free National Movement will all come together in a culminating effect to ensure that we have the best slate of candidates to present to the Bahamian people. The specific question of unity, there is no doubt in our minds that the FNM is going to be a united front, even as we simultaneously deal with some very sensitive and some might say thorny issues. But the FNM has been known for over the many decades on fielding a strong team for the Bahamian people. We've governed this country, not perfectly, but in a way that have made significant progress for the Bahamian people, from the poor to workers, to women, to senior citizens, to business in the country. So at the end of the day, we do feel that this process will lend itself to ensuring that we present to the Bahamian people a strong, viable governing team to bring real change for the Bahamian people.
One of the things that the talking heads, and when I say talking heads, I'm one of the hosts, and the main host is Naughty and MJ. of illegal immigrants.
Right.
That's a thorn in the side of the Talking Heads crew. What is the FNM's position on the overflow of illegal immigrants, and what is your plan regarding citizenship? You hear the rumors that the government is giving out all kinds of citizenships. You don't know how true it is because nobody's saying anything. But how does the FNM feel about the illegal immigration situation and in terms of granting of citizenships?
Well, first of all, let me be very clear. And I do feel that I will not be out of order in saying this as the deputy leader of the Free National Movement. We believe that it is very important in a priority sense that we ensure that we safeguard our birthright, Bahamian birthright. It is very, very important. We want to ensure that while we understand the need for us to live interdependently in a global world, the Commonwealth of the Bahamas has to first be for Bahamians. And as it relates to the immigration issue, we believe that we have to have mature discussions about how we fix our immigration problem. Even now as an opposition, we've met with leaders in the Haitian Bahamian community, if you will, to talk about some of these very important issues and how we can get everybody, all stakeholders, to do their part to make sure that we deal with these immigration issues. So yes, it is an issue about enforcement, all right? Because what we don't have an issue with is legal migration to the country. And I will say too, while there's often a focus on one set of persons impacted by immigration, groups of people from different countries and so forth, that the Bahamas and how we should structure it should make sure that we are guarding our borders, making sure even from an economic standpoint that as we build our country, that health services, we don't want that overburdened. We don't want the educational system overburdened. All of this comes into play as we talk about the issues of immigration. And we believe that, yes, we must deal with the issue of immigration, illegal immigration, in a humane way. But fundamentally, we have to be sure that for now and for decades to come, for future generations of Bahamians, we have to arrest the immigration problem, illegal immigration problem, in a real way. We ought not be xenophobic. We can say that persons from different countries have contributed to the development of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. There is no doubt about that.
Yes,
you and I went to, even though you left there before me, we went to a school like many others, whether public or private, who would have benefited from teachers from other countries and so forth to this day. And learned some of the best life lessons from some of those persons. So there is no doubt that persons from other places have contributed to who we are. So what we are saying is that we want a sensible, mature, humane, but forceful immigration regime in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, where we're not selling out our birthright, not where Bahamian feels as though they are second-class citizens in their own country, and to understand that though there are some sensitive issues, it does involve some strong conversations, and that we be resolute in making sure that we do what needs to be done.
Ever since the former Prime Minister Ingram put the House of Assembly on TV, I have been an attentive listener and watcher. Last budget debate, it was quite entertaining. Some strong words were said between both sides.
Right.
What would you say is the biggest red flag of this PLP government's budget for 25-26? Right. What would you consider the biggest red flag in that budget?
Well, the banner I would put first is numbers don't lie, right? You could try everything you want, the numbers just don't lie. And you could say anything, but the numbers don't lie. And why I start off there is because the government was bullish on this pronouncement of a $75 million surplus, okay? Projecting, even though the Prime Minister did say he's achieved it, the Deputy Prime Minister came behind him and said, we're budgeting a $75 million surplus. Here's the issue with that. First and foremost, a year ago, they promised a $448 million surplus. So now it's down to $75 million.
Yeah.
But add to that, Okay, so the government just announced that they were going to do a bond offering of some 1 billion dollars,
Yeah.
right? And then you have now a $100 million loan from the Latin American Development Bank. Okay, so about 767 million of that $1 billion is to refinance existing. We now have another 400 million in new borrowing. Okay, new borrowing. So we asked the government, with all of this talk about a surplus, the numbers ain't adding up.
Math ain't mathing.
The math definitely ain't mathing. And the Bahamian people see that for what it is. But even more fundamental than that, in the Bahamian people's lives, as the government talks about prosperity, the Bahamian people aren't feeling prosperity in their lives. It can't just be prosperity on paper. People feel that the tax burden has increased in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, taxes and government services. They feel that their tax dollars aren't being utilized properly. The government has now spent $280 million on consultants, but there are still holes in roads. There are people who still have issues with infrastructure. The poor in the country, we feel that the government has not been as diligent making sure that the social services program are strengthened. The government has now been known for flying across the globe. We've talked about the trip where they spent $1,147,000 for one trip. For one trip.
And I think the member from Yamakwa said it ain't true.
Exactly. He needs to read his budget.
Yeah.
But the Bahamian people look at these things, Brother Thompson, they say, no. What you're professing that's happening for the Bahamian people, it is not. I would say, too, as it relates to the budget. Let's look at small businesses. The government had promised $50 million a year to support small businesses. $50 million. So based on that promise, we should have seen small businesses, Bahamian small businesses, should have at least seen $150 million over the course of this administration. We haven't seen even 15.
Okay.
Compared to the Free National Movement, with Dorian and with COVID, we spent some $68 million to support small businesses. So as it said, the truth is in the pudding, and I believe and we believe that the Bahamian people see it for what it is.
And they only can see for what's there.
Let me just also add, too, talking about the numbers don't lie. In the government's own budget book, the slow growth of the Bahamian economy, which is, they've projected now at 1.6, 1.7.
Yeah.
Okay, that's 35% lower than our Caribbean counterparts. Stopover visitors, we saw in the papers recently, is on the decline. That's why the leader of the opposition and our entire caucus has said we have to find a way to grow our stopover visitors. Because here's the fundamental reality. One cruise ship passenger, and we obviously, everything adds up, and we appreciate everyone that comes and spends money in our country. One cruise ship passenger spends an average of $75.
Okay.
One stopover visitor spends an average of $2,700.
Okay.
10 stopover visitors spend $27,000. 10 cruise ship passengers spend $750. So even just common sense and common economics, we increase our stopover visitors, because you do get to a point, and we love the fact that I think the Deputy Prime Minister said about 11 million visitors. The issue becomes if your stopover visitors decline as your cruise ship passengers increase, you still have a problem in terms of the economic impact, because you get to a point now where you're losing the economic impact because your high valued guests, if you will, are depleting. And so we have to find a way to make sure that we increase stopover visitors, that we increase hotel inventory. And these are things that we've been talking about. The one thing that has definitely been a plus for the tourism product in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas is the port, the cruise port that was started under the Free National Movement, the one that the member for Carmichael called the worst deal ever. But we see now that this has been great for Bahamian entrepreneurs. We have to redevelop downtown in a real way, make it a livable city,
Yeah.
make it the center of commerce at the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. The big ideas that the Bahamian people have been longing for.
You know, I see an article that says that the concern of its stopover visitors is the lack of room capacity.
Yeah.
But so when I see these things, I go and I ask people in the industry, and I have some young friends that are bartenders, bar boys, and waitresses in hotels, and they tell me they're on 4-day weeks. So if they're on 4-day weeks, that means the hotel has nobody in it.
Right.
If we don't have capacity, but if you're saying we don't have enough stopover visitors because we don't have enough rooms, but the rooms are empty. So that ain't mathing up to me either.
Yeah, I believe, as you know, part of my professional career was both in corporate development, human resources management, but also in the hospitality industry in senior executive of management. What we have to do, and let me just say that the professionals at the Ministry of Tourism are doing an outstanding job. We have to ask ourselves, how do we create destinations within destinations? How do we create experiences within the experience of coming to the Bahamas? We have our absolute advantages in our sun, sand, and sea. How do we work, and with the need for us to work on our comparative advantages, our service, the product within the Bahamian experience. The cruise port now is an experience for visitors.
Yes.
We now need to make downtown an experience in and of itself. So when you see that flashed on the screen, if you are in Boston, if you are in Europe, even without seeing the sign, you say, that is downtown Nassau in the Bahamas. That is Bay Street, because it has a personality of its own. There's so many different experiences. There are persons who come to the Bahamas who just to visit the botanical gardens, because for that particular niche of visitors, they go around the world visiting botanical gardens.
Yeah.
As an example.
Yeah, I
so
understand.
we have to continue to diversify our product. Okay, I know that there is a lot of questions, for example, about the Family Islands and so forth. The Bahamas is very diverse and it's very unique, because there are persons who, they come to the Bahamas only just to to Nassau, to New Providence, only to get to the Family Island where it's less hectic.
Yes.
Right? So we have all of these different opportunities that we need to
So we
continue
should
to
market each island separately?
Right, exactly. Or even what even is a possible idea, if I could just throw it out there, and we've talked about this in the caucus, is that I know that one time ago there was a conversation about having a cruise throughout the Bahamas, right? Just throughout the Bahamas.
They tried to start it just before the government changed.
Yeah, so that's something that we need to look at again, because I believe that that's a wonderful opportunity, a wonderful exercise there. This conversation about the cruise industry and cruise ships and these islands that they're using and so forth, that's another question. If I remember the stat correctly, I think within the next 10 years, most of the cruise ships routes, if you will end up to on an island, on an isolated island, if you will. So we have to look at that, because at the end of the day, while yes, we love when they stop in Nassau and in the capital, the question becomes how isolated now are we going to allow tourists who come to the Bahamas the isolated experience, and that obviously is good for the cruise ship industry and the cruise ships, but we have to ask it, how do we balance it? How do we balance it? Because it's not just about the boat stopping here. We want to get people into Nassau who then become now stopover visitors, because now they say we're going to come back to the Bahamas visit, but we want to have a land-based vacation.
Okay, we got a call on the line. Caller, you on the air? How you doing?
Hey, Pearly.
What's up?
Thanks for taking my call, man. You're so professional. That's what I like about you, man.
You smell my head every time, Papa.
Yeah, I always tell him I'm muffing the rest of them about it's really special. But
What's up?
Good day, Deputy Leader. How you doing, Mr. Cartwright?
Hey, Bob, how are you, man?
Thank God for life as usual. Quickly, because I know it's on time for the news. If you can't get answered now, maybe when you come back.
He's only giving me an hour today. He got a church commitment.
Gee, man. You can't.
Good Christian man. You gotta support the church too, you know.
Church.
Yeah.
It's church, okay. It's church because it's clutch time now. And you need him run long too. You see?
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
Quickly then, I trying to find out. Just lately, I hear on the news or someone in Parliament was saying that how they was my PLP government, our government was accusing the member for St. Barnabas for all those good things he was doing when he was the chairman of Beach and Park.
Mm-hmm.
I believe the DPP, deputy public prosecutor.
Yeah.
I believe they did say something about it, and I was wondering if Mr. Cartwright could have let us know, because now I hear in this new chairman who there now people saying like he might have overspent, but that's a special department right there what deals with really special people. Has come there with all kind of needs. And the kind of business what Mr. Cartwright them into is about empowering people, but I guess you got to do it the right way. I even heard him was saying something, but this would be the first time they being audited in that department, if it never happened before. But I can't wait to hear whatsoever, why, and how they get to do these things. But I'm glad to know that what the deputy public prosecution person had to say. Mr. Cartwright, man, these private partner,
PPPs,
public-private partnership things, man, I want to know like how you feel about them, how the FNM feel about them, because my government, our government is making a lot of deals and putting us in debts, and there's a lot of deals going on where we have to pay, millions of dollars back to these people and who they doing it with, and I don't think it's fair for them to keep this kind of information private. I think something like that we should know just exactly what they're doing.
Okay,
so I want to know how the government, not the government, I mean in the government yet, but Mr. Cartwright, that way but they talk about it and you doing the Boundaries Commission. Let me tell you something, Chief. Y'all could cut that up how you all want to cut that up. So we tell everybody. I know you're just playing a role right now, but the boundaries don't work. But let me tell you something, we mad with the government or whosoever, and lately we ain't been voting nobody in. We been voting out people. Mr. Cartwright, that wave, what they talk about with riding and this and that, it ain't do nothing with a person like you. I know you might not have the time, but you got to tell the story one of these times how you was able to escape it out. We had like 3 members out of a bunch of members of the Free National Movement here. And you was able, like, the people, I call it the people power, and that's what I think is going to work right now. People talking about ride the wave and all this stuff. No, it can be the people power. Plenty people can be are surprised to see what can happen. People who you expect to lose. See, if these people will get the nomination, and if the party don't even give you the nomination and you run independent, if the people want you, they can put you there. But you got to tell the story one of these times to them why you think these people, I talking about PLPs and FNMs, and I mean, and what do you have to say? What do you have to say to the PLPs now?
Okay, Papa, but time out. I gotta let him respond because I gotta. Okay, thanks, Papa.
All right. Well, there are 3 things I want to like to respond, and thank you very much.
And you have the last say, so you're closing out now. So just go right there.
All right. 3 things I want to say relative to, when the whole question of beaches and parks and so forth arose after the election, I was pretty confident about what we had done there and had not done there. I am very proud of the scores and thousands of Bahamians, members of the Free National Movement, members of the Progressive Liberal Party, and just ordinary Bahamians who got legitimate opportunities to make lives better for their family. As I would have stated during the budget, the inquiry that they had, they found no, which I knew, no criminal, that there was no violation of any criminal statute, and so I will leave that. I will leave that right there, and so I'm just continuously glad to serve the Bahamian people. Papa asked about the PPPs. Transparency. I mean, the Bahamian people ought to know what it is that governments are signing on, what it's going to cost the Bahamian people. Even if you look at Grand Bahama and the Grand Ukayan deal now, we're still waiting to see
where's the money.
Where's the money? Mm-hmm. Because the true impact of the quote-unquote deal is how much concessions did the Bahamian people give up? What is the long-term impact? What is the impact to the workers? So these are legitimate questions that we are asking, and then we know how good of a deal it would be. And Papa asked the question about St. Barnabas and the cross-sectional support that I would have gotten. I will say this, and this isn't about me. This is about those of us and those who are coming in who are asking to serve the people. I find that all you do is you serve the people. Something that Michael Pintard believes. This is something that we are going to ensure that our slate of candidates embrace. Just serve the people. At the end of the day, fundamentally, a voter, a Bahamian voter, has the right to vote whomever they want to vote for. Your job is to serve all of them, even the persons who do not vote for you or support you. But what I've learned is when you serve all, even some of those from the other side will come with you at some point.
Well said. You know our hour ain't enough time, right?
I have to come back.
So you got to promise me you're coming back.
That's a promise.
Before this month out.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we'll talk.
Happy Independence, Bahamas. Happy Independence. We have a beautiful country, the greatest country in the world. And I believe that together we can ensure that future prosperity lands at the feet and the lives of the Bahamian people.
And I want to thank my special guest, Shannon Don Carteret, Deputy Leader of the Free National Movement, who joined me today. Look forward to having you back.
Thank you very much for the time.
We're going to take a quick break, get to the news. When we come back, we can talk some sports. We can talk about that big center my Lakers signed and the big win the Dodgers had last night.
Another Bahamian to the Lakers.
Amen, right? I say. I know all the Bahamas now coming back to the Lakers. We'll be right back after the news.
That's it, people. Don't stop. Come on. Let me see what you can do. Come on, I'll take you to my island, show you lots of good time. I'll take you around the world and prove to you that you are mine. I'll buy you lots of things, buy you lots of diamond rings, and anything you want.
All I do is win, no matter what.
Feeling lucky? Here's Cuban Willie's numerology report. Brought to you by the Island Game.
Buenos dias, soy Joe Cuban Willie, and it's time for my numerology report, brought to you, of course, by the Island Game. Today is Thursday, and I got the cuatro pelotas, the four balls for Joe. 4785, 4785, 4785. That's your four ball for today. Come on, win with the Island Game. Stay winning, my friend.
Abaco, get ready for the summer's official rum and beer Lincoln. Royalty Sounds present Found Fast. Found Fast. Saturday, July 5th, Morris Harbor, Abaco at the Royal Recreational Ground. Gates open 5 p.m., $20 entry. Ladies free before 8 p.m. with Nassau and Abaco's hottest DJ. Don't miss the beer drinkers versus rum drinkers competition.
Pulling for the best side, icicle liquor.
Can rum for me. Found Fast, July 5th, Abaco. Sponsored by Collect, the Mayor of the Bahamas. Drink responsibly.
John Shoes and Accessories is your one-stop shop for all your footwear needs. You will find what you're looking for among the growing collection of classic and trendy styles with new arrivals every week. John's covers the whole family and has great prices, helpful and friendly customer service. Your experience shopping with us will be time well spent. Shop with us online at www.johnshoes.com. John's also now carries small home appliances. So come on into John's, located on Rosetta Street in Palmdale and Carmichael Road West. John's, we put fashion at your feet.
Cancer Treatment Centers of America is now City of Hope, creating one of the leading cancer care and research networks from coast to coast, providing more of what you need. More locations means more care closer to home. Peace. More research means more breakthroughs. More advancements means more treatment options. And more options means more hope. Learn more at cancercenter.com.
Hear that? That's not just a crunch. It's the sound of flavor turning up. Introducing the Doritos Kentucky Chicken Sandwich, a delicious combination of KFC's juicy original recipe extra large filet, stacked with real Doritos nacho cheese chips for a loud, cheesy crunch in every bite. It's bold, it's crunchy, and it's only $8.95. Everyone's chasing the crunch. Don't be the one who missed it. KFC and Doritos, a crunch that's finger-licking good.
You're listening to Talking Heads with Naughty, hosted by Earl the Pearl. On Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM.
I don't go in water, I just go to bullfight with somebody's daughter.
Talking Heads with Naughty is brought to you by Bahamas Out Island Promotion Board, Burger King, City of Hope, Kalina, John's Department Store, Click, KFC, Muffler World, Naughty Johnny's, Print Masters, Sandcastle Bahamas, and Tropical Gyros.
Slam domino, every occasion. If I did it over, I wouldn't change it. 'Cause this is what I love.
and welcome back to Talking Heads Thursday here on Guardian Radio 96.9. Yeah, this your boy Pearly in the house. So good to be here with you. We can talk some sports. Lakers. But let's get right into today in sports history first. Got to please Jeff, I don't want Jeff mad at me. Today is Thursday, July 3rd, 2025. And today in sports history in 1912, Reuben Marquardt of the New York Giants his 19th consecutive win. In 1937, Del Mar Racetrack opened in Del Mar, California. In 1947, the Cleveland Indians purchased the contract of Larry Doby from the Newark Eagles of the Negro National League. Doby became the first black player to play in the American League. In 1966, Tony Collinger of the Atlanta Braves became the first National League pitcher to hit 2 grand slams in one game. I know I messed that name up. In 2001, the National Basketball Association, the NBA owners, unanimously approved to move the Vancouver Grizzlies to Memphis in the 2001-02 season. And the sports quote of the day, what's the worst thing that can happen to a quarterback? He loses his confidence. Terry Bradshaw of those Pittsburgh Steelers. There was a text I didn't read. It says, how is that Lang? Mr. Lang did not question the national security about updates on crime in our country. All they talked about was focus on the fires for 2 hours. Well, that's a replay. Brother Lang wasn't here today, and the only reason I didn't host that, because I hear right now. So that was just a replay, and that happened right after the Victoria or the East Bay fires. So let's get into today to the home court, and let's read this on the sports page of The Guardian today. Ayton set to join the Lakers. Gordon resigns with the Philadelphia 76ers. Walcott selected to All-Star Futures game again, and Bayous and Girls team heads to Montreal. Boy, who's in and who's out? Who's in? DeAndre Ayton is a Laker. Are you happy with that, Mr. Producer? Or you no Laker fan? Okay, Mr. Producer's happy with that. How do you all feel about that? I'm happy that the Lakers got a center. But we saw the weaknesses in the Lakers team in the playoffs. Of a decent big man of a rim protector killed the Lakers in the playoffs. Even though they finished with the third best record, they killed them in the playoffs. And I think they've addressed that need to some degree. My only concern is the work ethics of our Bahamian boy. You got to start. There's talk that he plays a lot of video games. I don't know how true that is, but I think that this new change coming to a team, and I can't believe I'm about to say this piece. Coming to a team with LeBron on it. LeBron ain't gonna take that sugar on the iced tea. He can make him work. He can make him do some stuff. And even to see that Luka is working out. They tell me he's small. He's lost a lot of weight. He's in tip-top shape, getting ready for the NBA season that's coming up in a few months. So hopefully that culture would spread out to him, because credit where credit due. LeBron is workout. He's a workout hog. He works out. He pushes his body. And the reason why he's been able to stay in the league all this time and be there all this time, but relatively not a lot of major injuries, is because of his work ethic. And I hope that pays off. But I still think the Lakers need a backup center. I understand that Al Horford is a consideration. Bring him in that mid-level range. Al Horford, who's with the Celtics. So I'm excited about it. I really am excited about having him there. I think it's a good move for the Lakers. It is not an expensive move. I think it's like $8 million a year, even though Portland got to pay him the rest of his salary, so he's still gonna make over $30 million this year. So it's $8 million from the Lakers this year, $8 million next year. He has a player option next year. So what I see happening is, he comes to the Lakers. He gets off. Let me say this now, pissing me off. Lakers win a championship, and we give him an extended contract and make him happy, make him and Austin Reeves happy next year. And then LeBron gone. So if LeBron gone, get that money and get him to playing the kind of basketball he needs to be playing and helping the Lakers. He's a walking double-double. He averages 16 and 10 every night. He's never averaged below double figures in scoring and rebounding since he's been in the league. So we know that much about him. We know that he can play the game. You know that he has a lot of talent. He knows he has the upside. And if we could just bring all of that out of him, I think you'll be very pleased with what you see with your Lakers next year, you Laker fans. Now, you can't jump on this bandwagon just like that. We have some application forms here. The producer will have some. I'll have some. Naughty will have some. You got to send an application form and we'll revet you. Just like them opposite, the political parties are vetting their candidates. We're going to vet you. Some of you ain't going to make it. I letting you know now. You ain't coming to my Lakers just like that because now, you see things could be changing. So those of you who want to be Lakers, the door is open. You're welcome to come aboard. Fill out the application form. And we'll consider, the committee will consider, the vetting committee will consider whether you're a good candidate to be the Laker fan. You understand who leave us? Stay. Don't come back. We ain't asking you to come back to the Lakers now. You dog us, you dump us, you walked away. You feel free to stay. Now, what do you think we should do with Naughty? Do we give Naughty full? Do we give Naughty full reins again? Naughty, he's telling us he was in a self-imposed exile and all that stuff. But we'll see. We'll Naughty and I'll have that conversation and see exactly where he's going. And caller, you are on the air. What you got to say?
Early.
Hey.
Yeah, Naughty back on the Lakers, man. Because I had the same impressions as him.
Okay.
Because let LeBron take over our team, man.
Now, Naughty can tell you he never left. He just went into little exile. So you're saying take him out of full exile?
LeBron's doing a bunch of foolishness, man.
I agree. Listen to me.
Take the Lakers over, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we didn't respect that, man. Even that one little paper. And that ain't enough for us.
We have a culture of winning, and we need more championships.
These 2 or 3 championships you should have won. You ran there winning that little bubble championship and thinking you was all right. Yeah, man. So,
the full disclosure now, I was never for LeBron coming to the Lakers. I was never for that. I want you to know that.
You can't do that, man. After Kobe legacy, we had legacies, man. We had Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. We had the logo.
We had Magic.
We had Magic Johnson, Kobe Bryant.
Yeah. Derek Fisher, Jamal Wilkes. I could call you some names now.
Yeah, they come in the coattails of greatness.
There were two players that I never want under the Lakers. When Karl Malone came there, I was livid.
No.
I was like, no.
Karl Malone just trying to win a championship.
Yeah.
Cost us a championship.
I believe you, caller. I believe you.
Cost us a championship. Him coming there.
I believe you.
We got to get somebody else, and I sure we'll win championship that year.
And to be honest with you, I think the team that we had that won, and I'll use your terminology, the paper championship, I call it the bubble championship. If we had kept that team together, I think we would have had the opportunity to be in the money again.
Pope, all of them, Caruso, all of them, they let all of them go after the free agency.
I think
we keep that team together, we'd have another championship. I really believe in that as well.
Yeah. Now, Texas, thanks for calling, brother. I appreciate it.
Buddy.
Stay here. Texas says, no, Pearly, now it's our Lakers. You and Naughty bragged about being in self-imposed exile, so you have a full-out application yourself and throw yourself on the mercy of the committee. Hold on. Naughty is in self-imposed exile. I always, on record saying I never wanted LeBron there, but I still maintain my Laker fanism, if you want to call that word. I was always a Laker fan. I never walked away. I was pissed at him. Naughty and put himself in self-imposed exile and started pulling for Jarafa Moran or whatever you want to call it, brother. Now, he put himself in that. I texted, I am a Laker, has always been, probably before you born. Good day, Pearly. I see you happy. Anton joined the Lakers. Is Naughty happy with the move? And what about LeBron? C.I. Gibson would not want... Naughty is happy with DeAndre Ayton coming to the Lakers. He's happy with that. But we're hoping that this new ownership, it makes it good for me. The owner of my Dodgers also own the Lakers now. And the culture in the Dodgers is you come here to win championships and you come here to play. If you're not up to par, we can trade you and we can bring someone else to do the job. So this owner is willing to talk to LeBron. I think he's willing to consider it. And maybe we'll get our wish. We'll see what happens. Call you on the air.
Really, what you say, man?
Hey, brother, right here.
Now, listen, I was a younger Laker fan, man.
Okay.
I like how y'all throwing dirt on LeBron like that, man. There wasn't no paper championship, man.
It goes in the number. It goes into the number of championships. So as far as I'm concerned, it's a championship. But I do call it the bubble.
That tie us up with the most championships ever until Boston win the next one, man.
Yeah, last year. Yeah,
I feel like we can't. Like this is how I feel. I don't understand the hate, man. When I watched The Last Dance, I appreciate Jordan, LeBron come around. I appreciate LeBron and his greatness too.
So let me ask you a question before I say what I want to say. You were a Laker when LeBron got there, or you came with LeBron?
Sir, I born in the 90s. I was a Laker fan from I know myself.
Okay, all right.
I was there for Shaq and Kobe. I was there for when Kobe, Gasol, and Fisher and them boys were
Okay,
them too.
all right.
Man, I no fly by night Lakers fan, man. So this is what I saying.
But let me take you back to how long I'm a Jerry West, Will Chamberlain Laker. Okay?
Right.
All right, so,
See, I respect that, Pearly.
okay.
LeBron and what he did. I agree with you when you say we shouldn't have broken up that championship team.
Right.
We live it when we let all them fellas go. We Dwight Howard and McGee, them who was giving Jokic all them trouble, boy.
Yeah.
But all I'd say is this. I hear you and Naughty look like y'all was a little shaky. I agree with the caller. Y'all got to apply again. And we got to see if we can let y'all back. But, man, keep on talking, man. I appreciate you.
All right, brother, take care. How I getting the same boat with Naughty, Mr. Producer? I know Naughty said he was in self-imposed exile. I was always trying to. I even told him that he'll have to reapply. And Naughty told me he has so much vintage within the Lakers. You don't have to reapply. He come back when he's ready. But but to be very honest, I do not like LeBron being in a Laker uniform. And there's nothing against what he does as a player or what he is. It's just that all right, let me tell you let me be honest, all right? So you're hearing this for the first time with Pearly. I was a huge Kobe fan, huge Will Chamberlain fan, huge Magic Johnson fan, huge Kareem Abdul-Jabbar fan, and big, huge Kobe fan. Love Kobe. I think Kobe is in my top 3, could be top 2. Magic has always been my favorite. Maybe Will Chamberlain, Kobe. Those 3 are my favorite Lakers. When LeBron was graduating out of high school in Ohio, they named him King James. And I thought the reporters and the sportscasters were trying to make him king of the NBA before he even got there and trying to take that thing, the leadership or the face of the NBA from Kobe. And I didn't like that. So I done had feelings. I done catch feelings against LeBron. You went to Cleveland, fine, good. You're there. You got drafted, you went there, you went to the finals, you win. You didn't win. And then Miami Beach, where this is where you started to see fellas putting together these teams. Him and Chris Bosh and Dwayne Wade came together to try form this super mega team to win a championship because he couldn't win it in Cleveland. He went back to Cleveland when Kyrie was there, had some other players there, and put together another championship team to win. He left Cleveland and came to the Lakers. It's like he was hopping from team to look to win championships. I accept that a player could be at one team and leave that team to go to another team to try win a championship because he couldn't do it. I don't like what KD does. KD done been where? OKC, Golden State, Phoenix, somewhere else he been. And now he's in Houston. KD moving around trying to win championships as well. I don't like that. I believe in loyalty. I have been pulling for the Lakers from I was 10 years old. I've been pulling for the Dodgers from I was 11 years old. No, 10 years old. 10 and a half. I've been a Dolphin fan from before the perfect season. And I believe in loyalty to my teams. I pull for the team. When players come there, are good players, I will pull for you. When you leave my team, I don't pull for you anymore. You could go. When you saw Shaq left the Lakers, oh man, I stopped pulling for Shaq, even though I liked him. The only player that I wanted to see do well when he left the Lakers, because I don't think he left on his own fruition, was Derek Fisher. And that's the type sports fan Pearly is, okay? I pull for the team. I am a Laker, a Dodger, a Dolphin, okay? That's how it is. You have a call on the next line? Call you on the air. How you doing? Are you there, caller? Don't listen to the radio. Listen to your phone.
Oh, sorry about that.
Yeah, put the phone to your ear. Turn your radio down.
First time calling.
Welcome.
I hear you talking about loyalty. Was Milwaukee loyal to...
No, they weren't. I don't like what they did to Dame. I do not like, and I think the Greek Freak got a problem with that as well.
Yeah, but I mean, you can't preach loyalty on one side and it isn't loyal on both sides. That's all I'm calling to say.
But, well, I teach about my loyalty to my team. One of the things I've learned is, and we have to accept in sports, we like players, we start pulling for players, but the ownership and the franchises, it's a business. And they do what they feel is best for that business or for that team in terms of that. So I thought it was poor that they got rid of him, but what he's going to do is he's going to end up with a team and come back and he's going to hurt Milwaukee at the end of the day. I believe that.
Well, just how it's a business for the owners, it's a business for the players too. You ain't playing this for free.
And
if you don't win rings, you're not considered great.
I agree, and that is why I believe in paying the players the money. I don't think the fans come to see the owners; the fans come to see the players. So if a player wants a bunch of money and the fans coming to see him, pay him. I believe in that, and I agree with you.
All right, Dan. I just call it, put in my little beat.
I appreciate that.
All the time.
Don't be a stranger. Call back again sometime, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, brother. Call you. The caller got it. But I like when we have new callers, and I like when they say what they have to say. I welcome that. I do welcome that. Let me read a couple of texts here. Pearly, you get an old timer say you were that was Ja Marafa Turan yourself, and I was a Laker from George Mike in time when we were in Minneapolis. Now, I don't believe that piece. I don't believe it. Well, you could be that old. I agree. I need to go back to the archives, Pearly. No, man, don't do it. No, I never was a Ja Marafa from. I like Ja Morant as a player, but the record and Naughty can attest to this. I did not go with Naughty when he went into self thing. I'm not Earl. Andon needs to improve his leg work. The owner of the Lakers now, I've moved LeBron. The Lakers will suffer once LeBron and the Sun will call his owners. Look out, LeBron is the black cat. Listen, those owners will not pull up with foolishness. If you ain't performing, they will change you. Hey, Pearly, boy, you throwing your boy Naughty under the bus, and you said the group that owns the Dodgers bought the Lakers. Is Magic still a part of that group? Yes, Magic is still a part of that group. He sure is. And they got money. They ain't broke. They got money, and they will spend it to win championships like they're doing in L.A., giving Ohtani $70 million a year, giving Yamamoto $300 million over 10 years, giving Mookie Betts $30 million a year. They can spend the money. If you producing, they can spend the money. When Chris Taylor was getting 20-some million, he wasn't producing, he's gone. Austin Barnes wasn't producing, he's gone. So that's how my Lakers operate. The Trailblazers saying Anton is no sweet bells. Watch Naughty. He soon called the ownership, sell LeBron and his son fast. Call you on there. How you doing?
Yeah, what's poppin', buddy?
Hey, what's up?
Yeah, we could go back a little. You remind me of all the black and white days, but Mike Gandari was a baseball man. On CBD, he would always have the radio on.
Yes.
And I became familiar with a lot of players. I know he was like a Willie Mays guy. So
okay. Yes.
He's always talking about. I started to pay attention to ball when West and Chamberlain was playing, but I didn't become a Laker until Jamal Wilkes, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Bob Marcoux, them type of guys started coming in.
Okay. Yeah. We got
Kareem. I never look back. We lose or win, but. Now that you say Aiden is there, how tall is Aiden? 7'1",
I think it's about that 7 or 7'1", yeah, somewhere around there.
Yeah, so you can cause me start watching ball more now.
Yeah, man.
You understand what I said?
Yeah, man, you gotta do that.
Yeah, but what I wanted to ask you was, you remember Ron Harper, right?
Yes.
He went to the Lakers after he left the Chicago. I think the team he's playing for.
I think he played a year or two with the Lakers, if I remember correctly.
I remember that. Yeah, because I always thought he was talented. He was underrated. Because I remember the dunk contest where he was in, and I think he's one of the first guys I see to do he did it a very unusual 360 dunk. I don't know if you could remember that. You could pull it up and look at it.
I can do that.
I think they cheated. Yeah, man. He did a dunk whereby it was a 360, but I don't know if he can't remember if he let go the ball, but he actually spun and it was a time, and you need to really see it to appreciate it.
Do you remember who beat him?
I can't remember. I know it was Spud Webber. I think somebody give it to Spud. I can't remember. You have to go back.
I'm going to go back.
I was impressed with Spud because Spud was only 5'7". Well, you want to know this guy gets up there, right?
That brother had ups.
Yeah,
he had ups.
But you carry me back to the days. But I agree with you, Buddy, as it relates to the players who running on the championship, like from team to team.
Yeah.
Your boy Reggie Miller, Indiana ever won a championship?
No.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I respect Reggie. Give thanks, though.
Yeah, brother. You got to give players kind of players. And just so you know, the Lakers got Kareem Abdul-Jabbar from the Milwaukee Bucks in the trade, and Jamal Wiggs, first known as Keith Wills, came from Golden State, where I think he won a championship in Golden State in '75, if I remember correctly. Mr. Producer, let's take our first break. When we get back, we can talk about what the great Clayton Kershaw did last night. I'm happy about how the Dodgers came back for a big victory, and then we'll have our final 10. We'll see you in a few minutes.
All right, here we go now. When I was a little boy running around the yard, I used to hear the older men talking by the bar. They talk about the things they did when they were young and strong, and how things are better now than it was before. I didn't understand what they meant back then. I'm a little older now. I think I comprehend when they say age ain't nothing but a number. You're just as old as you feel. Even though I move a little slower, everything I
You try to rest, but roll with the best. For all your printing needs, there ain't no one better, no. For posters and banners, magazines and flyers, for window decals, greeting cards and newsletters. No job too big and there's no job too small. You name it, we can print it. Just give us a call. Let Print Masters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
BK Nassau and Pepsi want to bring you a fun day on us. Upgrade your favorite combo and get a chance to win great prizes like staycations at Atlantis or Baja Mar, powerboat adventure excursions, or a Blue Lagoon dolphin encounter. You can also win a relaxing day at Sandy Toes or a VIP movie experience at Fusion. Upgrade your combo at any of Burger King Nassau's 7 locations and enter to win online at bk242.com. Win fun days with Pepsi and Burger King, where taste is king.
John Shoes and Accessories is your one-stop shop for all your footwear needs. You will find what you're looking for among the growing collection of classic and trendy styles with new arrivals every week. John's covers the whole family and has great prices, helpful and friendly customer service. Your experience shopping with us will be time well spent. Shop with us online at www.johnshoes.com. John's also now carries small home appliances. So come on into John's, located on Rosetta Street in Palmdale and Carmichael Road West. John's, we put fashion at your feet.
Germs can spread fast, but with Lysol, you can go into protection mode. When it comes to your laundry, Lysol Laundry Sanitizer is specially designed to sanitize your laundry and kill 99 bacteria. It can be used on most washable fabrics, including baby clothes, gym clothes, undergarments, towels, bedding, and delicates. Available in sport, free and clear, and crisp linen. Washing your clothes is good. Sanitizing them is better. Lysol, what it takes to protect. Now available at your favorite store.
You're listening to Talking Heads with Naughty, hosted by Earl the Pearl. On Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM.
I tried to kill that roach just now. Anybody who knows Pearly knows I love my Bahamian music. I love my old school music, but I love my Bahamian music. And you put it on, I can try. Denise don't allow me to do all the things I used to do, but I could do a little skull there. I love going on the family. I love dancing to Bahamian music. I love listening to Bahamian music, particularly the older stuff. Texas says, "Hey Pearly, explain to me what Ayton brings to the Lakers and how he will work with Luka. Luka likes to throw the lob. DeAndre likes to catch the lob. So I think that will work a lot. He's a pretty decent rim protector. So he's bringing with the Lakers that middle, that center, that middle piece that the Lakers did not have. He's going to bring that to the team. He's a walking double-double. 16 and 10 is his average. I think he averaged last year. But he's always averaged double figures in scoring and rebounds. I'm excited about what he brings to the team. The pick and roll, I think you're gonna be excited to see a lot of dunks, a lot of people get your hair dunk off. Yeah, next Texas said, Pearly, forget to mention the great James Worthy, Mr. Spin, 360, one bounce and a dunk in your face type of player. Steps in basketball. And before you know it, the ball come, and the Lakers had a rule, if the other team scores, you don't let the basketball touch the ground. They catch it, take it out, and boom, boom. When you look, Worthy's at the rim and Magic catching him for a pass and dunking your head off. So, yes, James Worthy, one of the greatest Lakers, and he was a number 1 pick for the Lakers. Callie on the air, how you doing?
Yeah, side though, man.
Hey, what's up, Muff?
Man, you was a Laker for when you was 10, man. You was a Laker for 67 years.
No, 50. Don't age me that much. I mean, but listen, if you think I 70, I believe I look good for 70.
Hey, so he's the third Bahamian to be on the Lakers.
Well, we had Mike. We had Sweet Bells.
Rick Fox,
we had Rick Fox.
Bahamian.
And but Born Bahamians, yes, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, no, two have rings.
Did Rick? Yeah, I think Rick got a ring, and then I know Sweet Bells got a ring with Magic.
Yeah. So then he got to get a ring now. Yeah. So they still get all of them too. They still get Rudy.
So no. Before you say what you can say, you say he got to get a ring now. That's what you say.
Yeah, I say he got to get a ring.
So sound like you.
To get a ring.
You putting your application in to be a Laker now? Is that what it is?
No, never. But I that team got a bill, so I talking with the next 10 years. Miami is going to get like 3 or 4 other times then. Yeah.
All right. So what's up?
And so they still get Rudy too. They still get Connect and all of them, Reeves and all of them.
Say that again.
They still get Connect with their team.
Yeah, they still got Connect. They still get Reeves. They still got Reeves. They still got Hachimura. Yeah. We lost Finney. We lost Finney Smith. He signed with, I forget who he signed with. We lost him, so he's gone. But outside of that, pretty much everybody else there.
Yeah, I wish we could get him on, because I want to know what Pat Riley is dealing with. I don't know if we need a big man.
Trade Duncan Robinson gone. He ain't with y'all no more.
I mean, we need them to get someone now, big man, someone to protect the rim.
Oh, well, we can see.
Being good for us.
Yeah, but he's better for the Lakers.
Yeah. So, your boy gets some big money. Jonas Smith now gets $12.7 million a year. Ramsey get $26.7 million a year.
Yeah.
Them boys get some big money down in Pittsburgh.
He was supposed to get 4.5 with the Dolphins this year, but he wanted a raise, and I don't think the Dolphins wanted to give him that kind of money when he wanted $12 million. And guess what?
I gave him that's what $7-8 more million more.
That's
What's the fella name? St. Patrick, who come from the Steelers.
Yeah. Micah Fitzpatrick. Yeah.
Fitzpatrick, yeah, he's a good corner and everything.
I was mad when the Dolphins traded him to Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
he was our number 1 pick.
He only been with us for 8 months or so.
No, he was there. He played about a year and a half.
Okay.
But him and Flores didn't get along. Just how Ramsey and McDaniels don't get along, him and Flores didn't get along, and so he was gone. Now Flores going to come back. I think he's going to be quite happy back in Miami.
Okay, so I'm looking for exciting season this year.
I am too.
I
am too. I'm looking to see. We still need a cornerback. I'm looking to see who we gonna get. And I think if we get a decent gun, you ain't gonna get. There's no great ones out there right now, but there's a couple running around. Hopefully we could grab one of them, and maybe we'll see what goes up. Our front line is gonna be pretty solid, so it may protect the cornerbacks a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So we're looking good so far. All right, then. Let you get the pick.
All right. Thank you. I call you on the air. How you doing?
Hello, I'm doing well, thank you.
Hi there. How are you, ma'am?
I'm great. I'm just trying to confirm something.
Okay.
The conversation with the caller before me, it was said that Rick Fox is a born Bahamian.
His father's Bahamian, and his mother was. I think he started school here and then he moved away. I'm pretty certain he was born here. I will double check that to make sure I'll make sure of that. I don't want to give you the wrong information. Fair enough? Well, I guess they going on here, but I got to find that out because I don't want to give the wrong information as to where Rick Fox. But call us still there. She gonna call you there? Okay, let them call back then. Last night was history made in Los Angeles with the Dodgers. One of my favorite Dodger pitchers of all time, Clayton Kershaw, didn't have his best stuff, but he was 3 strikeouts away from 3,000 strikeouts, and only 20 players in the history of Major League Baseball have accomplished this. So last night in the 7th inning, Clayton Kershaw struck out his last batter looking and was able to become the 20th member of the 3,000 strikeout club. It was an exciting time for Dodger fans. I was a little nervous thinking that he was not going to get it because his next start is not until in Milwaukee in a couple of days from now. And to be honest, Rick Fox was born in Toronto, Canada. His mother was Canadian, who was an Olympic high jumper, and his father, Ulrich Fox, is a Bahamian. So he is a born Canadian, born in Canada, but he's Bahamian as far as we're concerned. Okay? But I was excited about what the Dodgers did last night in terms of Clayton Kershaw was able to get his 3,000 strikeout. And it was a wonderful time in Dodger Stadium. They didn't really stop the game, but it was in between innings because that was actually the third out of the inning. Fans gave him a standing ovation. He went into the dugout. The fans continued calling ovation. It was an exciting time. I was happy for him. I've been a Clayton Kershaw fan from the day he walked into the Dodger Stadium, pitched his first game. I've always pulled for him. I saw his ups and his downs. I saw as he become a pretty good pitcher. And I'm happy, and I want to, I tried to get him on the phone last night, but I didn't get him. But I can send congratulations to Clayton Kershaw for a wonderful career as a Dodger. And hopefully he will go on and get another ring this year. It was fantastic. It was really, the electricity in Dodger Stadium was tremendous. I'm glad he was able to get it in Dodger Stadium for the fans of Dodgers, who were some of the most loyal fans in baseball. It was just a great time. It was just a great time last night. And the Dodgers game starts pretty late. So I was fighting sleep last night because I didn't want to fall asleep on it, and I really wanted to go to bed. But I was determined to stay up and see. I was determined to stay up and see Clayton Kershaw accomplish that, and I'm glad I did. I'm really glad and really happy I was able to see that. It was a great time for Dodger fans, for the Dodgers at whole, and congratulations goes out to Clayton Kershaw and his family on another baseball milestone, and he will go down in history as one of the greatest Dodgers ever. I didn't say the greatest. I said one of the greatest Dodgers. He's next to Sandy Koufax, probably one of the greatest left-handers we've ever put out. And so some of my Dodger great pitchers would be Sandy Koufax, Fernando Valenzuela, Clayton Kershaw, Don Sutton, Andy Messerschmidt. These are Oral Hershiser. These are pitchers that I've watched over the years from a little boy watching Dodger baseball and pulling hard for my Dodgers. And trust me, when I say I cut, you bleed. It cut me and I bleed Dodger blue. That was the saying that Tommy Lasorda used to say. God rest his soul. But it was always great to see great things like that. The sad thing that came out of the game last night is my third baseman, Max Muncy, who started out pretty slow in the season and who for the last month has been playing probably the hottest baseball for the Dodgers, hurt his knee. There was a player from Chicago trying to steal third base. He was thrown out, but in that Max Muncy hurt his knee. They're still waiting on the report and what's wrong with his knee, and see what's going on with that. So waiting to see what they have to say. But they did call up a player to take his place until he's back. Kid by the name, and I can never pronounce this. He is Ruiz. He's a former A's outfielder, and he's something the Dodgers picked up. We got from. So he's going to come up and get an opportunity to play a couple of games to hold the fort down until Max Muncy is back. Boy, that was a rough time to see that because, it happened in the same inning that Kershaw got his third and his 3,000 strikeout. So it kind of dampened at the time, and it was, and Dave Roberts had said he's going to manage this game a little differently than he normally does because usually he would have pulled Kershaw out from the fourth or fifth inning. But he's going to let him ride as long as he possibly could ride, hopefully that he will get his strikeouts, and he was able to do that. And when Kershaw left, the Dodgers was down 4-2. We did come back in the bottom of the ninth inning and win the game 5-4 with Ohtani scoring the winning run, and the fitting that only Ohtani would have scored the winning run, right? So congratulations to Clayton Kershaw and a great victory for the Dodgers last night. The Dodgers on the road. The Dodgers are on the road. Unlike Northeast Yankees, and then I'm going to rub it in a little bit. I think they got beat. How bad did they get beat? 11-9. So they gave up a lot of runs. They scored a lot of runs. They gave up a lot of runs. Giants lost last night. Dodgers won. So those are exciting times. All right, so let's get into the picks. We're going to do baseball today. You know what? We're not going to do baseball. We're going to do WNBA today. The WNBA has another, in the NBA they have that in-season tournament. The WNBA has an in-season tournament as well, and the Indiana Fever won that tournament. Yesterday, the night before last, and they won it without that fella. Who forgive me, without Caitlin Clark. So that's something to see. But we got 5 games on the docket today. We got the Las Vegas Aces at the Indiana Fever tonight. I want to see something quick. I think it was the Fever. I think it was the Aces that the Fever beat night before last to win the president. What they call? I think they call it the President's Cup. Is that what they call it? I think that's what they call it. The other night. So I'm just trying to find the scores. But anyway, but today we got the Indiana Fever is hosting their Las Vegas Aces. The Aces are 4.5-point favorites. I'm going to take the Aces and the points. I think that they're going to do something good tonight. You've got the LA Sparks and the New York Liberty. The Liberty has been battling. I don't know if John Quell is back yet, but the Liberty got a couple of losses. But the Liberty, that's too strong. I think they'll be this. I'll take the Liberty. I don't know if 9.5 is something I would go with. I'm going to take it on the money line. When we look at the Seattle Storm, at the Atlanta Dream, the Storm is 10-7, the Dream 11-6. They're pretty evenly matched. The Storm, the Dream, Atlanta, they're 1-point favorites. I'm going to take the Dream and the points. They should be able to beat them by a bucket. The Phoenix Mercury at the Dallas Wings. The Mercury looking good, 12-5. The Wings are struggling. 11.5 is a pretty big margin. But, you know, in this WNBA, you have some teams that really been just like winning by 20 and 30 points, you know, some lopsided victories a lot. I'm going to take the Mercury, but I'm still going to take them and the money line. Yeah, I was going to say the points, but I ain't going to be that crazy. Then you get the Washington Mystics, 8-9 Mystics at the 14-2 Lynx. The Lynx, really a good team this year, you know. They're a really good team this year. They're a really good team. I like the Lynx tonight. You know what? I'm going to go on the limb and take the Lynx and the points tonight. I feel in that. And then that's to quickly just throw one or two baseball games to them. Chicago White Sox at the Dodgers tonight. The Dodgers going for the sweep. Dustin May throwing tonight. Savall pitching for the White Sox. Everybody who ain't beat up on the Rockies beat up on the White Sox. I'm going to take the Dodgers tonight for the victory. And I think the Yankees would bounce back tonight against Toronto. Schmidt is pitching for the Yankees. So there you have it. A fun 2 hours. Good to be here with you. Naughty and MJ will be back tomorrow with the weekend review. Thank you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for the texts. Thank you for the texts. Thank you for the calls. Thank you for listening. I appreciate it so much. Thank you for making Talking Heads what it is today. This is Pearly. I'm not going to be here next Thursday because it's Independence. So I'm going to say it now. Happy Independence. Just keep your Bahamian music rolling. And I'll see you when I'm back.
Long day? Hungry crew? Say less and satisfy everyone with KFC's Summer Buckets. Grab a super summer bucket and get 8 juicy pieces of fried chicken, 8 nuggets, corn, our new white rice with gravy, 4 buttery biscuits, 4 Switcher Pink lemonades, and 4 dessert biscuits. So whether it's on the beach, at home, or chilling with the crew, KFC Summer Bucket starting at just $20. Bring all the flavor. Summer with KFC. It's finger licking good.
Fly away with me through the Bahama Keys.
Tired of the hustle and bustle of Nassau? Fly away to the Family Islands with our fly-free offer for Bahamian residents. Stay at any of our hotels for 2 nights and get a round-trip ticket for free. Visit BahamasResidence.com for details.
My Bahama land, yes, my country. Come fly away with me.
Cancer Treatment Centers of America is now City of Hope, creating one of the leading cancer care and research networks from coast to coast, providing more of what you need. More locations means more care closer to home. More specialists means more expertise. More research means more breakthroughs. More advancements means more treatment options. Learn more at cancercenter.com.
Looking for tech solutions without the hassle? Since 1941, the Armory Company has been the Bahamas' trusted tech partner. From access control and cloud video surveillance to smart home setups and laptop repairs, we handle it all. Need a repair? We've got you covered, no matter where you bought it. Can't find what you need? Call us at 397-1600 for a custom solution. Visit us behind Wendy's on Mackey Street with delivery to all Family Islands. The Armory Company, where your tech problems meet their match.
Sign up now for the Michael Scooter Reed Peace on the Streets Basketball Classic. This is our 30th year, and we are doing it big. Sign up for 13 and under Tropical Gyro, 16 and under the Myers Group, Sun Oil, 20 and under in the Church Group, We Buy, You Sell, the Design Group in the Open Division, and for the first time, the Jamaica Bahamas Corporate Division. Competition begins July 14th to the 20th at the Hope Center. And then Kendall Isaacs. That's the Michael Scooter Reed Peace on the Streets Basketball Classic, where we shoot hoops instead of guns.
You're listening to Talking Heads with Naughty, hosted by Earl the Pearl. On Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM.
This is a serious fella, man. Don't sleep on him.
I ain't gonna sleep on him.
Seriously, don't sleep on this boy.
Yes, sir.
He ain't got no heart at all. And they say teeth from teeth, God smile. I believe I think he believe in that.
Brand new phone? Where? Can't find that. Time now? I just buy that. Oh Lord, brand new television. New Jordans. Gone missing. Just buy and sell my things. Cash for gold, got all my chains. Leave your things trying them not so lost. He'll thief the Lord off the cross. My gal can't find her rings. But don't lie, but you know it's you, King. He just come out of jail last weekend. But he hit him in all the incidents, not 3 lines. Make the punch like 15 times. No job, he robbing.
Start the show, ladies and gentlemen, with the Lakers. And, listen, we are in a hot take society right now. Everybody knows that. It's really difficult to cut through. There's so many outlets and mediums, TV, radio. You got the web. You got social media, YouTube, TikTok. To cut through, you increasingly have to turn up the volume and get a little hot. And, folks, I've been seeing some stuff. You know I love a good hot take happy hour. But I've been seeing some stuff lately about my main man, Luka Doncic, that I got to step in. It's time for J-Mac to jump in and be like, guys, can we take a deep breath? Can we get some perspective? I know nuance isn't a thing a lot of people like to do in July. It's either black or white. You love him, you hate him, right? But let's just pump the brakes on the Luka Doncic bashing. And yes, I get it. He's coming off a season where he was injured and he got traded. And hey, if the Dallas Mavericks can move off Luka, how good is he, right? I mean, the guy doesn't play defense. He can't jump. He only had 1 dunk last season. I mean, Luka, what are we doing? Is he that good? J-Mac, hey, he couldn't get out of the first round with LeBron James. How good is Luka? And you start hearing all this, and I'm like, wait a minute. Hold on. Are we talking about the same Luka Doncic that just 13 months ago put the Mavericks on his back and led them to the finals? And now we've got hot takes like this, not just coming from dopey fans, and not just the media, but we're talking about former players and coaches. Folks, Avery Johnson, a point guard who knows a lot about basketball, was asked who he'd rather have, Cooper Flagg or Luka Doncic. Take a listen.
Man, give me Cooper Flagg.
Really?
Cooper Flagg and this team, yeah, give me Cooper Flagg, man. You're talking about a team, when they're healthy, got their Hall of Famers with Kyrie, AD, and Klay Thompson. So this is really exciting. The Mavericks, their future is bright, but they have a window when they're healthy of the next 2 to 3 years with this roster as currently constructed.
Yeah, I don't totally disagree with Dallas being good, but Cooper Flagg over Luka Doncic? And this is what I'm talking about with society. It's become so hot takey that a guy has a down year and we're just writing him off. Like, I like Cooper Flagg. Do you guys remember, I don't know, 2 months ago on the show, Rick Bucher sat here and I was like, over under 1.5 MVPs for Cooper Flagg. And he laughed at me. He's like, what on earth are you talking about? I'm like, I'm high on Cooper Flagg. No way on earth am I taking him over Luka Doncic. Have we forgotten? I'm not going to trot out the resume, but have we forgotten that in the last 40 years, no player has started their NBA career as good as Luka Doncic? Not Michael Jordan, Not LeBron James, not Shaq. Folks, Luka went Rookie of the Year and then was first team All-NBA 5 straight years. First team All-NBA, top 5 player in the league for 5 straight years. Starting in year 2. Like, that's the kind of talent we're dealing with here. Nobody makes their teammates better in the NBA better than Luka Doncic. Now, I know Jokic has a strong case because he has a title. He's a little older than Luka. I'll just put that out there. But Luka raises the level of all his guys. You remember 2 years ago, Dallas, they had been fighting for years. How do we build around Luka? Let's try Jalen Brunson. And they screwed that up. Let's try Porzingis. And he got hurt. This is what he does. Let's try Kyrie Irving. Oh, okay. So they bring in Kyrie Irving. I remember being, I think, live on the herd when it happened. I was like, oh, my gosh, Mavs, they're set. They're going to the finals. They missed the playoffs that year. Okay? Do you remember how Luka Doncic responded the following 3-9-9, and the Mavs went to the NBA Finals? So if you want to write off Luka at 26 and say, well, he's not dunking anymore, he's become a step-back artist, that's fine. You do you. But here's the reality. Luka went to the finals last year, exhausted, then played in the Olympics. And oh, by the way, then comes the calf injury. Remember on Christmas? Suffers the calf injury. And Luka, wisely, I might add, did not want to rush it. He was seen on a scooter, and it's like, oh, geez, that's bad news. No, he was being cautious, which is smart in hindsight. You remember when guy on the Pacers had a calf injury in the finals? And I was like, whoa. Halliburton, sit out, my guy. Well, you don't want him to have to miss a whole year. Halliburton plays good in Game 6. Oh, he's fine. It's fine. Let's not even rehash what happened in Game 7. You don't rush back from calf injuries. Nico Harrison wanted to rush Luka back. Luka said, no, slow your roll, man. He took his time. They thought he gained weight. They shipped him out of town. I am calling it now. Revenge season is coming for Luka Doncic next year with the Lakers. I don't know who the hell they're going to have. We can get into that later. I'm going to go ahead and assume LeBron's going to be on the roster. I'm going to assume Austin Reeves, but that's not a lock. I think they're going to be okay with 2 of the greatest players in the NBA currently. LeBron, all-NBA guy, and Luka, who's off to one of the best starts in NBA history for a young guy. Can we just take our deep breath with Luka? He's going to be fine. All right, so, every time for some reason Alex and I have hosted in the last couple months, some big news has dropped. I don't know if you guys remember the first time Michael Malone got fired of the Nuggets. It was like middle of the show. They're like, oh, the Nuggets fired their coach. Oh, wow, okay. So maybe last month it was like Tom Thibodeau fired. It's like, wow. So, we just did the first segment here. And as soon as we get in a commercial break, they're like, hey, LeBron just dropped something on social media. I was like, oh, boy, I can't wait to see this. And we're talking about LeBron anyway. But let's just be real. Here's LeBron on his Instagram within the last hour or so. You have to look closely on the screen, but he's wearing a hat that says, welcome home. And it's possible he just grabbed the first hat he saw at his house in Ohio, where he currently is playing golf. So just to remind you, LeBron, who's been in the news the last 48 hours because of his contract situation, and then is he going to get traded? Is he going to ask them to buy him out? Which is nonsense, but it's a talking point. LeBron's all over the news, and then he pops up on Instagram with a welcome home hat playing golf in Ohio. Guys, come on. This is awesome. How do you not love this? This is what LeBron does. He's done this for 15 years. He wrote the playbook for how to, troll people? What are we calling it? Are we saying, get people to talk about him on social media? I asked the crew here, is LeBron really the first social media athlete who grew up in the social media era? And you have to think back, Tiger Woods was early 2000s before social media. If you say social media was 2010-ish, that's when LeBron was peaking, right? Do you guys remember the internet melting down when he told Jim Gray, I'm taking my talents to South Beach? LeBron knows how to utilize and weaponize, if you will, social media to get what he wants. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't. But the real question is, what is the end game here? Is he just messing around? Maybe. Is he sending a message? Probably. My big thing that I keep coming on is every time he's gotten into a pickle, it was near the end in Cleveland. Hey, I asked for real contending dudes. The Celtics went out and got Kevin Garnett and Ray Allen. And I asked for contending guys, and you guys got me Antoine Jameson. I'm out, right? LeBron he had nothing around him. In Miami, near the end, he starts to look around. His team's breaking down. I'm out. In Cleveland, Kyrie Irving jumped ship. LeBron, I'm not winning here with what's left. I'm out. But you look around the Lakers locker room now, and he's got Luka Doncic. Is he walking away from Luka? And then the counter would be, well, Jay, this is the first time LeBron hasn't been the best player on his team or the guy that the team is asking for advice and input. And I was like, oh, okay, maybe that's accurate. LeBron's unhappy about that. But the guy's turning 41 in December. He's going into year 23. You really think he wants to jump ship for a year to go to, I don't know, Detroit or Cleveland again, or Atlanta? And listen, I know one thing is true for sure. LeBron loves the attention. Who wouldn't? You guys don't think I like it when you bombard me when I blast the Kansas City Chiefs and say they're not making the playoffs? I love that. I love that you guys are worked into a lather, and I could care less because it's a genuine opinion backed up by facts and data. If you're in your feelings over it, that's not my fault. I think LeBron is similar. He's going to put this out there, knows his name is swirling, and I think he